And welcome back, everyone. I'm Scott. Here are the bricks. Now let's go through review to celebrate the Season 3 premiere of Mandalorian. We're going to check out the Razor Crest, set number 75292, coming straight at you from the galaxies of Star Wars. Let's dig into it. Now, I do consider myself a Star Wars fan, so I thought I would go ahead and celebrate the Mandalorian with this build. I was going to actually do the 75325 Mandalorian N1 Starfighter as I try to get it into frame here, but to be completely honest with you, I don't have fucking room for this thing, so we're not going to build it. We're going to instead look at something that we already have, which is the 75292 Razor Crest, which was released back in September of 2020. It's still in circulation. It was rumored to go out last year, but then they go ahead and drop that monstrosity of a large gray blob that is the Razor Crest Ultimate Collector Series. And this was originally for $120. I think now that it's due to inflation, it's $140. Which is no bueno. I bought it 2 times, actually. This is the $120 version I got when it came out, and then I bought it again on Amazon for Cyber Day, and I bought it again on Cyber Monday for Amazon for $100, which is a damn good deal. So I'm happy to have 2 of these, one in the box and one out for collection. Included with that price tag is 1,023 pieces, which accumulate into a small scale gray blob. Gray blob. First appearances, you can tell that it is a lot of light bluish gray and dark bluish gray, as is the fate of most of Star Wars ships. But this one is actually pretty decent because it has some weathering effects with these stickers and the introduction of some more of the tan pieces. As we give it a nice little float around, it does have a wonderful printed piece right here for the canopy, for the cockpit, which is always wonderful. And it just kind of repeats itself all around the whole ship. I do enjoy the more layering effects of the colors for the overall set, so it breaks away from this being a big glob of gray, which kind of gives me which the Ultimate Collector Series kind of gives to me. But I really enjoyed the actual amount of detail from the outside of the ship and the gribbling as well. And we'll go more into detail as we talk more about this ship as we break it down into playset. This set also includes, as I pan over, right there, my boys. This set actually also includes 5 minifigures, which we'll go into more detail right now. And here we are, the minifigures of the set. We do get 5 of them. Here, starting off, is a basic Scout Trooper, which is honestly, you know, it's basic, but I love Scout Troopers, and I'm very excited that we're actually getting a Black Series helmet, which is not really LEGO related, but we are getting a Black Series helmet for the Return of the Jedi anniversary, and we're getting a Scout Trooper 1, and I love Scout Troopers. I never had a Scout Trooper minifigure, and this is actually my first Scout Trooper minifigure, and I just think he is fantastic. So with the updated versions of Scout Trooper and a lot of Stormtrooper figures, we have some wonderful printing on the body, we have the printing on the front, and then we have some printing on the back, which is fantastic. Plus we have the black on his arms because they are not as armored as Stormtroopers are. These are actually more light armored, for they are more of a recon unit. Thus the name Scout Troopers. He does have a wonderful Scout Trooper helmet, which when you take it off, get my hand over here, he just has some cheek lines and he looks stern. Does he have a printing on the back of his head? No, he doesn't, but that's pretty much it. Helmet is lovely designed. I love the printing on it all around, and he has himself a little blaster, which is fantastic. He is a wonderful Scout Trooper. Damn shame we only get 1 of these in the set. I know there's 2 in Season 1 that get all the jokes, but I wish we just had more of these in battle packs because he looks fucking fantastic. All right. We have here Mando Dinjarin. I believe that D is pronounced silent. And we have him in his Duracell brown armor. This is not his best car later on. And he has that wonderful dark metallic gray helmet. He has it's called an Amban Pulse Phase Rifle, I believe is what it's called. And it actually has the prod on the bottom. Sorry, prod on the front for the electro prod, which is also the bayonet. I do not quite care for this design for his weapon. I'm going to say that right now because I do think that the actual blaster part should be a longer blaster rifle because it has a stock on it, so it's not the really best design for his little rifle there. He does have some nice gray hands for some detail. He has printing on the legs here, which has his brown Duracell armor. He has the brown on his chest as well with the shots. I believe it's disintegration rays, I believe those are disintegration bullets as well, or rounds, you have to call it. He He does have his nice, wonderful silver cloak on the back here, which is wonderful, or cape is what they call it. And then he has some more printing on the back, which is fantastic. Love those highlights with the silver. Isn't that awesome? It shows the wear and tear in his outfit. And then when we take off his helmet, which we're not supposed to do, but he does it like 1,000 times in series, we have no face, minifigure head. Isn't that fantastic? I love it. And that's it. For Din Djarin, he doesn't really get much for his appraisal here. But right here we have, Carl Weathers himself, Griff or Grief Karga. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. You guys can destroy me later. And sadly to say, on his printing, he has his side shoulder cloak, but we don't get that as an actual fabric piece. What's up with that? I believe this is a wonderful addition to the set and very pivotal character for the actual Season 1 of Mando, so it makes sense for him to be here. And then just like on his printing on here, some more printing on the back. I don't know why they give that fabric. Don't understand that one. It does have some wonderful tan arms. It gives some more detail for color. And he has a hairpiece, which is wonderful. And if you look around the hairpiece, you have two types of faces. There is the upset at Mando. There is the happy to see Mando and get some money. Love it. I just enjoy having a Carl Weathers figure, honestly. I look at it more as a celebrity than the character from the show, so I think that's great. And then he comes with dual blasters, which is awesome. And the wonderful non-printed pants to go with the matching top, which I enjoyed that. Good figure. Okay, and let's go to IG-11. The worst one out of the group, because he's, yeah, that. That did not really care the way they did this one. He comes in a wonderful dark bluish gray, which is fantastic as always. Comes with a blaster, which that should be the better blaster for Mando over there. And then he has another rifle over here, which actually probably even better over there, which I enjoy that. He was the assassin droid turned into helper droid, which sacrifices himself in the series. We've all seen Season 1 by now, so if you don't know him, there he is. He does have a printed piece up here for the little round stud, the 1x1 barrel piece, I like to call tube. And look there, his head pops off. Isn't that fucking wonderful? So like I said, don't really care for it. I think they could have done better than that. Honestly, I think it's because of just how long he's been sitting in here is why that goes like that. It's just kind of wear and tear on the piece. Might probably need to replace it, but let's go back. He's going to fall over. Yes, he's just a generic kind of assassin droid. A lot of those come in those battle packs we've had for Clone Wars. And then last but not least is Baby Yoda, a.k.a. the child, a.k.a. Grogu. By the time this came out, though, he was just Baby Yoda and the child is known. He comes in the standard mini-chief form, baby little figure. He doesn't have no visibility with his hands. You can't really move them. Has no action there. That's fine. And his head is a molded piece, which is wonderful. And it comes off. Nothing really special about him on that side. He is cute. And he's very coveted, for me at least, because he's the only one I have, and I enjoy having him as a piece. He can, with his little hole in his butt, go right on Mando's hand like such to be carried, which is a fantastic way to pose with them. And I think it's a wonderful addition to the set. That's it for the minifigures. Let's jump into the set itself. Mando's going to fall over. Hey, look at that. All right, coming in fast is the Razor Crest. Model type, I do not know. I didn't delve that hard into it. I was more caring about that stupid blaster rifle that Mando has. But overall, if I was to compare this set to any other Star Wars set, I think this is a great equivalent or even a rival to the lineup of Millennium Falcons when it comes to build and to playability and what it's able to do. I think it's fantastic. Actually, I think it won Toy of the Year. It's a wonderful Lego design. It's well built. It's well sturdy. It looks great. It looks fantastic. Pieces aren't falling off. It has playability. It has things you can do with it. It captures exactly what it is. This was a money ship. They knew this was going to be the money pot. They knew this was going to be the money shot. They knew this was going to be the seller and people wanted it. So they needed to not fuck this up, and Lego did not fuck this set up. They did it extremely well. And we're going to go ahead and get some details on how they did this extremely well. And why I think this is the equivalent to the Millennium Falcon line from LEGO is because it just shares so much in common, so many characteristics of playability. We all know that the Millennium Falcons can open up and it has a huge diorama of things to do and things to play for role-playing for children especially and for collectors to have them. This does that as well. Both sides open up wonderfully, just like so on the turret here, which has some living quarters, which is finely detailed with some more stickers. There are some printed pieces. I believe the only printed piece actually is right here and on the head for the IG-11, but we have a lot of stickers for everything else. So we have a living quarters, which is just like the inside of the Falcon itself. And if you open up on this side as well, you get another little section which you can play more stuff into. And then when you open this section up, you get more stuff to look at that. Look at that fantasticness. You just get so much open space, and it's so much nice to play with, and it's a good playability set for your children. And for collectors, we can really fit this out and use it for photos or whatnot. I think it's enjoyable. On this side, we do have some wonderful additions and some nice little Easter eggs to the set. Ow, that hurt. Which we're going to zoom into that right now. A wonderful detail. We have some fantastic carbonite frozen bounties, which are only sticker labeled. They're not printed pieces, which that's okay. You know, could be worse, could be worse. And they're put on some nice pieces right here with the dark bluish gray with the flats on the top to really give off that entire look. These obviously are not as nice as the molded Han Solo carbonite frozen pieces, but honestly, this just saves money, and you're not going to get those pieces done because for characters, it don't really matter. Han Solo is a face. These are not a face. These are hills that nobody knows about and are kind of named. They probably have names. If you go Wikipedia, they probably have names. Who cares? Anyway, so you get these two wonderful carbonite frozen pieces, and they fit wonderfully just inside like such, which is a nice little detail. Fits. I said it. Fucking said it. Oh my god, dude. It fits. Jesus Christ. Please get it. Yes, which fit perfectly right inside, and which you can tell by the inside of the set has some wonderful room for play. I mean, it's kind of crowded, and that's okay because both sides do open up, and when you do open it up, like the tail end piece right here, you have room for little fingers, little children fingers to come in and play with this set, which is kind of cool. Like I said, I enjoyed that it has that. It has the openness of the Millennium Falcon, but what sucks about this is that the Millennium Falcon opens from the top, so you can actually play inside of it as a play set. This does not, and that kind of blows, but I still think it has a lot of uniqueness to it, a lot of characteristics to it. But I do think it has a lot of offer to playability and a lot of role playing in with the game. So that's fantastic. Let's take a look at the other side. And the other side opens up just as easily as the other ones. The same mechanics, same click plates as they do before, which is awesome. And then over here, though, we have our little ammo reserve, which we keep our spring-loaded shooter extra shots at, which is always fantastic. Which is, you can also keep some of the rifles for Din Djarin himself. And then that's pretty much it for this side. Not much to talk about. The other side has more detail, but it opens up as well. Like I said, you can get both sides down and have a lot of playability to it. As you can tell on the inside of here, it is really sturdy with the addition of the Technic body that comes in. You have a lot of structure design in here just to keep it from falling apart. I feel like if the kid was to drop this set, it would maintain its build pretty successfully. We're looking at like 80% of this staying intact with the minus of the engines that probably would break off. But it is a very sturdy set, and with the design, it's very well done. Okay, that's it for the inside. Let's go look on some of the details on the outside. Now, towards the outside of the ship, I know we touched some base already. That's how the looks of it in the beginning of the video. But again, there are some stickered pieces here to capture the markings and the actual wear and tear on the Razor Crest from the show, which is wonderful. And it repeats itself on both sides of the ship, so there's no real reason to show that out. When it comes to repetition in the build and repetition of itself, the wonderful, phenomenal looking cylinder engines on the sides here. Same go for the opening doors on the sides of the ship, but that's okay because they just look fantastic and I didn't mind building them. Plus it's only two. You're not doing 4 legs like you would on an AT-AT, but over here we do have the own repetition that you have on these wonderful looking cylinders, which have some stickers for some extra added detail. You have the nice dark silver baskets in the bottom, and then for the engines itself, or the actual thrusters, you have some nice transparent oranges right there, which is fantastic, and get that better in frame. And the tail of the ship is actually pretty fucking cool too. It's kind of hollow right here. If we lift it up a little bit, you can, oh no! So yeah, when you lift it up here, you get some hollowness right here, some minor details, which is kind of decent. I also really like this ending flap here, which opens up so you can have some characters come out of it like some badasses. All right, and for the top here, and for the front here, we have some wonderful, wonderful detailing, some wonderful building techniques to really give it that rounded look. You get these nice angled pieces right here, these lovely arched pieces right here, which in series and some flat tiling awesomely give a wonderful, almost stud-free look, which I really enjoyed. Everybody likes a nice little stud-free look on Legos. They did a pretty decent job for keeping that for the main cockpit, which I really enjoy. Which, speaking of the main cockpit, we have that printed piece right here, which to get into, you have this little lovely love handle, and it just comes up right here, kind of easily, which you can remove out, and it does kind of click in to hold itself accountable, which holds itself into place a lot easier, and you get into a wonderful cockpit, which does overall, 75292, the Razor Crest is a wonderful and near perfect addition to LEGO Star Wars, if I may say so myself. It has everything you could ask more in a spaceship. You get a wonderful lineup of minifigures, you get some wonderful playability, and you get some spring-loaded shooters, awesome. And it looks fantastic, looks like the one on the screen, and it just gives you all the thrills that you need in the Star Wars LEGO set. It's still available to buy, so go ahead and buy it, especially if you don't have $500 to spend on the Ultimate Collector Series Edition. This one is fine just by itself, and it doesn't take up as much space. So for $140, yes, it's definitely worth it. You guys should know this by now. It's been out for 2 years, but I do say go out and buy this set. Buy two, actually, just to hold one for yourself. All right, this has been Scott. Those were the bricks, and that was the review. Please enjoy Mandalorian Season 3. This is a non-paid promotion. Just, let's see what happens. Who knows? Might be shit, might not be. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as always, thanks. Tune in for more.